Hello, everyone. My name is Bhargava, and alongside me, I have my group members, Devraj, Sagat, and Sirajuddin Syed. And we'll be presenting today on exploring how Kevin Kelly's technological insights are being followed or assessed. So in our presentation, it's basically based on chapter 3, 4, and 5. The chapter 3 contains about flowing, and 4 about screening, and 5 about assessing, as mentioned in the presentation. So this explains how technology is evolving and evolving in many unavoidable ways, and how it is reshaping industries or society, for that matter, and also the individual identity. So we'll focus on three key ideas as per chapter 3, flowing, chapter 4, screening, and chapter 5, assessing, and how they appear in real world technologies today. So in this presentation, we will be discussing about Kevin Kelly's main insights and the broader technological and societal context. So we'll explain and explore real-world scenarios that demonstrate flowing, screening, and assessing. After that, we will also examine the individuals and the industries that are affected, and we'll also discuss the disruptions and the opportunities created by these technologies, and explain how technology impacts identity and progress. And we will also synthesize our findings and reflect on a broader implication for society, and conclude with references and followed up by question and answers. So Mr. Deva will be taking up the next slide, and he'll explain about further about this.
Yeah, thank you, Ram. So now we are moving forward to the Kevin Kelly's insights. Here, Kevin Kelly's insights argues that technology is not just changing, it is inevitable. So in chapter 3, coming to the flowing, we can see that he explains about digital content which is no longer exists as something we own, but something we continuously access, such as streaming music or videos. So, in chapter 4, coming to the screen, we can see that the Kelly highlights how algorithms now filter and prioritize information for us, shaping what we see and experience online. And also, in chapter 5, coming to the accessing, he discusses the shift from owning physical products to accessing services on demand. The key takeaway from Kelly's insights is that adaptability is essential for success in the digital age. So coming to the next slide, here we are going to discuss about technological and societal context. So we are currently living in a period of major digital transformation. For example, coming to the physical media like CDs, DVDs, and textbooks, which are being replaced by streaming services like cloud storage and online learning platforms. Algorithms now influence many daily decisions from what we watch to how we learn. As a result, technology plays a significant role in shaping work patterns, education systems, communication, and business models. So, this shift affects not only on how industries operate, but also how individuals interact with the world around them. So, coming to the next slide, we are going to discuss about scenarios. So, there are mainly three types of scenarios in this real world, such as flowing, screening, and accessing. So, coming to the first one, flowing can be seen in music streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, where ownership of music has been replaced by unlimited digital access. Coming to the second one, screening is evident in platforms such as Netflix, YouTube, Coursera. So all these three will use the algorithms to personalize entertainment and education. Coming to the third one, accessing, which appears in cloud computing services like Google Drive, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Azure, which allows the users and businesses to access resources without owning physical infrastructure. So the next slide will be explained by our friend Saugat Kanwar.
Thank you, Deva. So, as you can see in the slide, who is affected, and as you can clearly see in the slide that there is like two sides, that is individual and the industries. On the individual side, consumers like us that are affected. So, on the uh, on the consumers as well, we got uh, as- on the consumers we got Excuse me. So we got people like us that are a and then musicians, or content creators, and then producers who depend on digital platform. And secondly, people like us, students who are just studying, and educators, teachers, professors who rely on online learning platforms. And also, talking about the industries that are affected, uh, it includes mainly the music and entertainment, or like movie industries. Secondly, education, or let's say schooling and how the teaching and learning is being carried out. And the third is the cloud and technology. So each of these industries has had to adjust their traditional business approach in order to just sustain in the game, or and remain competitive in the digital era, where it is a tech first environment. So into the next slide. The next slide is about disruption and opportunities, as digital transformation has both disruption and opportunities. That is like two sides of a coin. So disruption include the decline of physical media, such as we used to have CDs and books uh, previously, but now they are being replaced by phones and screens. And also the challenges to traditional classroom education, and also the growing concern about data privacy and security. However, these changes also create opportunities. On the other hand, content and education can now reach global audiences. So the scope of the content now has become much more wider, and the new subscription business models also have emerged that allows companies to innovate and scale faster than ever before. Lastly, these opportunities encourage creativity and accessibility, uh, but also require careful management. So now on to the next slide. The technology impact on identity and progress. So as you can see in the slide as well, the technology has a strong influence on identity and progress. Digital platforms allow individuals to not only present themselves as creators or influencers, but also as a personal brand, and they could like sell themselves and sell what they have. So industries are shifting from ownership based model to service based model as of now, and then they are now focusing more onto the user experiences and accessibility rather than the traditional old school method. So progress is now no longer measured by only physical growth, but now the different measure of project progress is innovation, flexibility, and ability to adapt with the continuous technological change. So the next slide will be taken by Mr. Shiraz.
Everyone, my name is Sayesh Rastin. So my topic is about synthesize finding. So let's begin. So when we synthesize our finding, we see that flowing, screening, and accessing are the deeply interconnected. So flowing enable the constant movement of digital content, and screening determine what information reached to the users. And the accessing flows allows services to be used on demand. Together, these forces reshape how people consume information, learn new skills, work remotely, and interact with information technology. These changes do not occur independently, but work together to create a large-scale digital transformation. And the last one. So the border implications. So the broader implication of this technology shifts are significant. While digital technologies increase accessibility, efficiency, and convenience, they also raise concern about privacy, surveillance, and algorithm controls. Ethical questions rise about who control information about and how decisions are made by algorithm. Technology continues to drive in society's program, but it must be guided responsibility to balance innovation with fairness, transparency, and ethical programs and ethical responsibilities. So the differences, the main resource used for this presentation include Kevin Kelly books and the Inevitable. This video, The Wisdom, I wish I know earlier, and the official resource for this for official resource from Spotify, Netflix, and Acura, Corsa, and Amazon Web Services. These differences support our discussion how modern technology influence individuals and industries and society.
All right, so that's about the presentation, and I hope you got good insights of how the Kevin Kelly's model is and what are the benefits and disadvantages, both mentioned as well, discussed by our colleagues and our fellow students. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to respond. And thank you very much for your time and patience. You all have a good day.
Thank you.